Hello, this is Caleb Barney with Russell Real Estate, and today I wanted to go over some national housing statistics as well as local housing statistics for Northeast Ohio. And, as always, I always say there's no such thing as a national housing market. So that's where I always want to encourage people to just take real estate headlines with a grain of salt because you might see something saying that a housing crash is coming or the housing market is cooling, and it really just depends on your area. So I wanted to kind of show what the national housing market is doing from Redfin's perspective. They have a bunch of great data, so I like looking at that. And what they ended up saying for uh, the U.S. housing market, this is for December. They said that house prices went up 1.4% year over year, but it was down as far as the number of homes that sold by over 36%. So supply is still very low, and as a result, demand is still pushing those prices up, although much, much slower. And part of that reason was because at the time of this recording, the data that they were using for the December numbers, the national average for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage was 6.4%, which was over 3 points different from what it was the previous year. So housing affordability actually went way down because interest rates went up, home prices went up, and as a result, your mortgage rate is going to go up too. So that's why there are fewer people that were selling, because really a traditional home seller is also a home buyer. So oftentimes they didn't want to sell when they had a 3 or 4% mortgage and trade into a 7% interest rate when there's not really a ton of inventory out there. So that's why we saw supply being down last year, and demand was also down, but not as much as supply. So that's why we were still seeing home price increases over the past year. But the thing that I thought was interesting was the top 10 metros with the fastest growing sales price. You could see that there are a lot of metros that are still seeing well over 15% year over year increases. And that's a completely different story from what you hear nationally. So once again, nationally, year over year prices for the month of December, according to Redfin, were 1.4%. That means if you have some markets at 20 plus percent, you're going to have other markets that are down 20%. So it could be a 40% swing. I actually recently posted something on my Instagram stories showing some different data, but it was essentially the same thing. It was the top market was plus 16%, and I think that was actually for January's data, and the bottom market was minus 11%. So, you're still looking at a 26, 27 point swing as far as, what that individual local housing market is doing. And it got me thinking, I really should be posting about what my market is doing here in Northeast Ohio. So that takes me to this map right here. I'm located in Strongsville. You see it right here, part of Cuyahoga County, a suburb of Cleveland. I grew up in Medina, and I have rental properties in Medina and Brunswick, which is kind of like right in between Medina and Strongsville right there. But the main areas that I serve are going to be Medina County, Cuyahoga County, so all of those, all of Summit County, most of Lorain, parts of Wayne, parts of Portage, Geauga, and Lake as well. So those are the main areas that I focus on, and I've done some in Stark, but not really a ton there either. Just distance-wise, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But what I wanted to look at was year-over-year data per county. Now, this will actually be pretty telling for the county, but obviously there are going to be areas that are more sought after and see greater appreciation than others too. So take, for example, this is the median sale price for Cuyahoga County for the past 5 years. You could see the median sale price compared to nationally is way, way lower. And that's because there are some very low income areas in Cuyahoga County. So, you might have parts of East Cleveland or, other areas like that where you can still pick up houses for, less than 50,000, sometimes well below $50,000. But then you have other areas that are, let's say like your Bay Village or your Westlake, stuff like that too. And, the average house price there is going to be over 400,000. So that's where we're basically looking at these price points here. And I just wanted to give a general idea of, even though the housing market is cooling down a little bit compared to 2020 and 2021. I mean, those were anomalous years where housing was kind of propped up because of the low interest rate. It just brought in so much demand that people were willing to overpay for houses then. So you could see from 2018 to 2019, the median sale price increased $10,000 or just shy of it. About $14,000 from 2019 to 2020. You actually jump up a little more, about $17,000 from 2020 to 2021, and then only a $9,000 increase from 2021 to 2022. And the part that I wanted to highlight here is home prices are still going up in value, and they went up on average, or I'm sorry, the year over year change from 2021 to 2022 was 5.26% in Cuyahoga County. And again, there are certain areas that are crazy hot, like Lakewood too, where you still see, double digit increases in home price, values too. So that's basically what we're looking at here for Cuyahoga County. I just wanted to kind of point that out. I will go over the other markets that I serve too, and then same thing though. Like, I mean, there's going to be differences anywhere you look. So whether you're in, the Highlands School District, or if you're in like Lodi, for example, those are just going to be different price points for Medina County. So we're going to look here. The median sale price went up, basically, 80, or I'm sorry, yeah, $85,000 over the course of 5 years, which is pretty awesome. But if you look at 2021 to 2022, Medina County actually saw an 11.15% increase in home price values. So you're still in double digits in Medina County for year over year growth. For Lorain County, it's actually even more, which has been a trendier place to move, and that's going to be, some of like your Avon Lake and stuff like that, your North Ridgeville. So some of those are going to be a little hotter, Columbia Station. And basically, you saw a nearly 15% year over year growth for Lorain County in 2022 from 2021. So it went up 14.84%. And then lastly, Summit County is the other main area that I serve. And you can see it went up on average $11,000 over the course of the year, which equates to a 6.51% increase there. So essentially, we're still seeing growth in Northeast Ohio. It's not as strong as some areas in the country, but it's also much stronger than a lot of the coastal cities, which are seeing negative year over year, quote unquote, growth, change, I should say. So that's the good part about, buying property in Northeast Ohio and in, the Midwest in general. You don't typically see the wild fluctuations in home prices, so you're not going to see it go up necessarily. I saw Boise, Idaho in 2020 to 2021. I think it went up like 40%, and I'm pretty sure that they are almost negative double digits now, if I remember correctly. And like, that comes with the nature of high appreciation markets. They're also affected more so when markets decline, whereas the Midwest is just going to be your steady eddy, slowly but surely increasing a little bit in appreciation. And if you're looking to invest, then it should be a strong cash flow market as well. If you have any questions on the Northeast Ohio housing market in general, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to talk with you, whether you're looking to buy a primary residence for yourself, a second home, an investment property, or if you're looking to sell. I'd love to have a quick talk with you, see if I could help you, and if not, then I can always send you, uh, or refer you basically to somebody else who might be able to better serve you. My name's Caleb Barney with Russell Real Estate, and have a great day.